All right, guys, it's a beautiful morning. We're in Central Florida with Osceola Outback Adventures, and we got the lovely Kimberly, the gorgeous Glorianne, and the beautiful Byron.
I am.
We're gonna stick some fish. All right, you guys ready?
We're ready. Now we just need to
Go to that other edge over there, babe. See if there's anything on that over here.
Right there, Blair. See him?
Fish or tilapia?
That was close. Gar.
Well, only through till
Yep.
2 or 3 o'clock.
About 10 inches over his back. Over him, just a hair over him. Aim low.
I'm aiming low.
There he is.
So I got him?
Yeah, you got a reel though.
You can hand line him.
Got him. Oh, that's that easier?
It's easier to put the bow down and hand line him.
What was I, number 6?
Got him, good shot.
Got him. Hard shot. There we go. My first fish with the bow. This little gar. And I shot him, so I'm gonna eat him.
See him down the deep.
Oh, I let it go and I wasn't. I'm not. This isn't my normal release.
Oh, yours in there, babe.
I know, but I think this one actually worked better last time, babe. But I'm still getting kind of used to your old one.
Sounds like an excuse to me.
That was a complete excuse.
Nuh-uh.
There you go.
Your first shot.
Good
Good
gar.
job.
You got it on record, too.
Got it on
That's
record,
amazing.
too.
Good job, hon.
It's not something you could teach.
Yep. You've got the touch. Man, you're good.
Good job.
Twist it up.
There you go.
First fish with a bow ever.
That's awesome.
First shot ever. That's unbelievable.
I can tilapia.
What do you think about now, babe?
Yeah. Well, you don't. There's a pile over there.
There was a pile. Did you see all of them? Got him. Uh-oh. No, he did. He stayed on. I was like, did it come on?
Kim got her one. Good one.
Oh, no. Yep.
Wow.
Got him. Didn't mess up the meat.
Exactly. That's how you like to hit them.
Yeah.
Is that a pretty big one? Or is
Nah, it's about average.
Okay, cool.
About average size.
Good looking fish.
Yeah.
Didn't mess up too much meat either, did it?
No. That's how I shoot them.
So how many have we shot at so far?
Well,
Oh, a ton. How many do we have?
yeah.
That's a different story. I got
Good.
him.
You got him?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
My arrow's going.
You sure did. Wow. Couldn't have been a better shot either. That was a blind shot, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. That was a complete blind shot. No, that was skill. Wait, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Little guy, too.
See the blue on him? Wow.
Yeah, some of them are real white. Some of them have really, really pretty colors.
Yeah.
Nope.
Other way.
I'm trying. There we
You
go.
might have hit that one.
I think you got one.
There we go.
Yep.
Got
Got
him.
him?
Oh, yeah, he's moving.
Good job.
I got one.
Good
Hey,
one.
I didn't hurt the meat either.
Yeah.
Nice.
Woo-hoo.
First tilapia.
First tilapia.
A little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you hit him, I think. Yeah, you got him, Gar.
She went on 2 just in case 3 came back.
You got him.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, number 2. Oh, he's in a girl. Nice.
Show him to the camera. With a lot of targets.
Yes. I'm telling you, it's so I tell everybody, I'm like, yeah, I said I'm married to my best friend, you know, and Byron says one day he'll find his. So I'm like, you're so mean. But yeah,
You gotta keep them on edge.
That's right. Can't let them get too comfortable.
Yeah, you can't let them get comfortable. They get,
is that one?
Yep.
To the right.
A little low and a little right. All right, we had a great day bow fishing with Osceola Outback Adventures, and we shot quite a few tilapia, but we shot some alligator gar too. And we've tried gar before, but here in Florida we have long-nosed gar and then we have alligator gar. These are alligator gar. You can see the top of their head. It looks a lot like an alligator, a little bit broader snout. And they're like little needles there. I mean, razor sharp, needle sharp. Such a cool little fish. And those long-nosed gar, they have like a very skinny, longer snout, like we call them needle nose or long-nosed gar. You do have to have a pair of 10 snips. I've got a strong pair of kitchen shears, so hopefully this is gonna work. Go ahead and cut off that back dorsal fin. And it is difficult. Then I'm gonna go along his back here. And it's right up the back. And that is working. These are some slimy fish. Actually, the best thing to do is gonna be to wipe these guys down. Get some of that slime off of them. And see if I can just hold them in place here while we cut up the back. Try to cut through that armored plating. These fish are prehistoric. But from everything I've read, you don't want to eat any of the organs, because some of the gar organs and the eggs are toxic. So you want to stay away from that. So we've pretty much cut from the rear dorsal fin all the way up to the head with our kitchen shears. So this is where it gets even more difficult, because their backs kind of curve around, and so rather than just filleting the fish, you got to kind of cut the meat off of the armored plating. It's almost like a thick exoskeleton. These are some crazy fish. This is definitely a different meat than most fish. I can already feel it. It's kind of feels a little mushy. But I don't care what it feels like, I care what it tastes like. Actually, on this side, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna try to cut down the side here. See if I can kind of peel the skin back out of the way a little bit more. It's not really skin at all. It's armored plating. But all that stuff right there is supposedly toxic. I mean, it looks toxic. That is a fish. That's cool. Check this out. This looks like a little, I'm not exactly sure what this is yet. He's got some kind of fish inside him, just a little brim. That's pretty cool. So he was able to get that thing all the way down his throat. You wouldn't think he'd be able to swallow that, but he did. So I'm just gonna cut down to the rib plate, and I'm just gonna cut along the ribs. There's not gonna be much meat on this guy, but I'm gonna take all of it. Definitely gonna use all of it. I'm cutting right along the ribs, cutting along the spine. Once you get past that that armored plating, it's really not bad. It cuts right off right down the center line, right off the ribs. I'm cutting right down the ribs there, and then missed a bone there. All that's meat. It's not the most beautiful thing in the world, but it'll eat. One gar fillet. All right, there's the second fillet. Just gonna check it, make sure there's no bones in there. We're gonna wash that off good, because it was kind of exposed to whatever's going on in there. That's where it's supposed to be toxic, all that stuff there. I don't know how toxic, but you're supposed to stay away from it, so I'm gonna listen. So gar number one is cleaned. And we're gonna stuff him in the crab traps and hopefully catch some blue crab. So none of this stuff will go to waste. Osceola Outback Adventures. I cannot recommend them enough. They are such great people, Byron and Kim. You're gonna have a wonderful time. They get along with anybody. They're just wonderful people. You can tell from the minute you meet them. They're genuine, they love what they do. And they took us out in the wilderness. Here's the thing, I was born and raised right here in Florida, St. Augustine area. And I had no idea that where we went today even existed, the type of, I don't even know what you call it. It's part of the St. Johns River, but it's where the St. Johns River all starts. And it's just acres and acres and acres of lily pads and hyacinths and alligators and tilapia. Just wild, big tilapia. And they actually said this is an average size fish. This fish was about 3.5, 4 pounds. And they said they get them up to 8 pounds. So twice the size of this fish. I'd love to stick one next time we go. And there will be a next time very soon. Gloria behind the camera she told me today, she said that's one of the funnest things I've ever done. I'm addicted to bow fishing. So she's addicted.
All right, you guys, we had an amazing day with Osceola Outback Adventures for our first bow fishing trip, and these were actually our very first fish that we ever stuck with a bow. So they were gar, but we don't like to shoot anything we're not gonna eat, so here we go. We're gonna fry up little gar nuggets today. And our favorite is the Zatarain's Crispy Southern. It is gluten-free for all of those who are trying to be anti-inflammatory, like my husband, and us, of course. So we've already just tossed these, just light. We love it because it's so light and keeps it real crispy. So, and then we actually have some coconut oil here. So, a little tidbit about coconut oil. I know it gets a bad rap, it's saturated fat, but what makes it different is it's actually medium chain triglycerides, which actually have a lot of helpful benefits. That's actually what makes coconut oil a superfood. So look it up, it's pretty interesting. And there's actually a lot of research now showing those MCTs and coconut oil have a lot of great benefits. So of course, everything in moderation. It's still a fat, it's still high calorie, but a little bit won't hurt. So coconut oil actually does have a low smoke point. It's at 350 degrees. So you really don't want to deep fry in coconut oil. Sauteing is more of what it's used for. So that's kind of what we're doing here. That's why we're not fully saturating. Ooh, that's the way I like it right there. If y'all could only smell this, it's smelling good. All right, so while our second batch of gar is frying, we're gonna make Ryan's famous fish sauce. It's actually been passed down for a couple of generations now. So it's 1 part mayo, so we'll just put a good heaping scoop of that. 1 part ketchup, so a bit of ketchup, and then just a tiny dollop of mustard. So this is actually daddle pepper juice. So all it is vinegar with a bunch of daddle peppers just soaked in here. So it's a very distinct, unique thing to our area, and it's delicious. So secret ingredient right here. But that's looking pretty good. All right, you guys, the moment of truth. Ooh, so if you see that, the texture is a lot more firm than a normal fish. It's actually more the consistency of a gator. So let's see how it tastes. So guys, that's pretty good. It really does taste like gator tail, actually. Worth a try. I highly recommend. Even better with the sauce.